GAMEBREAKER TV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your weekly call-in late-night talk show answer phone call extravaganza right here on GameBreaker TV. I'm your host, Mike Schaffnit. Joining me this week, as he does every week, I guess you're not joining me this week, Mr. Allen, but we've got returning the one and only Josh Allen, aka Lord.
I think we should change the name of the show to After Bedtime.
After bedtime? Is it getting to that part?
It is well beyond my bedtime. I'm very sleepy.
And joining us once again, because he's been out on a busy fishing trip, we've got your boy Darnell back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Darnell, we're streaming right now. Darnell.
Oh, snap. Oh, hello. Hold on. Oh, hello, everybody in the world. How is everyone doing today? Yes. I was definitely not playing with myself on the stream. Nope, wasn't happening. Wouldn't do it. Nope.
I don't know what to say, but other than I think that brings up a really good topic. We like to start the show off on a weekly basis, talking about some of the hottest stuff that happened during the week, and then answering your questions. And I think that is probably some of the biggest news ever. We won't spend too much time talking about the story, but essentially, a League of Legends player got caught streaming while he decided to stop and go masturbate, which is an interesting thing to have happen. You guys, Josh, you stream quite frequently. Darnell, you talk to Mike B a lot, so he, through what he streams.
Yeah, we masturbate together. Go ahead.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to come out and say it, but if you're just gonna go there, I know that's the way it works. What do you guys think about this situation? Have you ever? I guess first off, have you guys ever thought of that you might get caught in like a similar situation of like, wait a second, I'm streaming right now. I probably shouldn't walk around my house naked.
No.
No.
Pretty much no. I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard to remember to turn off the stream. You look over and you go, oh, XSplit still says I'm streaming, I should probably stop that. Okay, done now. And then you go about your business. You do whatever else it was. I guess you can, I don't know. Take a
Yeah, so pretty much what Lo said is he masturbates. Oh, everybody, Lo masturbates. Look at him, the masturbator. Oh, he's just over there doing his thing. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. If I'm not streaming, that's what I'm doing. Pretty much always.
Obviously,
Damn.
but at least you have the common courtesy to click the stop stream button. I don't know. I guess
I don't know if that's I'm just saying, I don't know if that's like a courtesy for some people, because, maybe some people kind of into that stuff. It's like, damn, I would love to see Lil masturbate. By the way, this is a really creepy ass topic. Why we gotta talk about all I'm picturing now is Lil over there with all of that crazy ass hair, poof, coming out. He's trying to masturbate. I'm done with this subject. No, we out. No, change the subject. We're done.
All right. Well, it sounds like we got a caller on the line. We'll throw it over to them and see if they can understand it. It seems like we might be having technical difficulties with Skype, so we'll check in here, and if not, we'll throw it over to a Twitter question. Caller, tell us your name, tell us where you're from. You are on the lines with GameBreaker After Dark. That might be a no. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's throw it over to a Twitter question while we try and figure this out. Joe is over on Twitter, sent us a tweet asking, do you think Blizzard will ever release 1v1 arenas in WoW since they're releasing more single-player content in the game?
Didn't they pretty much do that now with cross-realm zones? You just go out front of Orgrimmar and there's like 8,000 people doing...
They're called duels.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't see them ever doing like a full-on like, oh yeah, queue up for this and you're gonna do a 1v1 arena, just because the game isn't balanced in 1v1 at all, and it would be obnoxious like for them to try it, like the amount of actual class changes they would have to do, that would be kind of ridiculous. But if you just want to do a whole lot of 1v1 fighting, just head out front of Orgrimmar. There are 1,000 other people there, and you can fight them.
Well, and they've mentioned multiple times that the issue is, as you said, balancing. It's impossible to balance on a 1v1 situation. The game is built on, you know, a rock paper system where one class will hopefully beat out another one, but at the same time be weak against another one. Duels aren't meant to balance. That's as a whole. That's why they got rid of 2v2 in the competitive arena side. Like, you can still do it, but you don't get any sort of items from it, because they found that even 2v2 was hard to balance from.
Yeah, see, the problem is if they go ahead and put stuff like this in here, where they're like, okay, yeah, we let everyone have 1v1 and all that stuff, then everyone will be like, they won't say, oh, hey, that's kind of nice of Blizzard to go and put that in so we can kind of do the duel thing and stuff like that. 1v1, yeah, oh, that's amazing. No. What they're going to say is they'll be like, damn it, Blizzard, why isn't this stuff all up freaking balanced and stuff? Your game sucks. It's not balanced. I get a 1v1, I get like one shot, 100-0 by whatever class I'm not, etc., etc., and everyone's up crying on the forums. It's just not worth it. No, people don't understand. Okay. Yes. Made my point. I'm gonna go back to masturbating, I guess, on streams. I don't know. Damn.
Oh wait, you're looking at the camera. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. I think that's the biggest thing, and they already have duels in the system, so I don't necessarily know if they'll ever move. What is that?
Nothing. Nope.
All right, so let's throw it out to another Twitter question and see what you guys got to say. Daniel Castelli sent us over a tweet, said, what holiday releases are you guys looking forward to and why? And also, I don't think this is just MMO related. I think this is, you know, gaming across the board. Is there anything that you guys are really interested in?
I'm still trying to catch up on September. There's so much, like, I barely even touched Borderlands or Torchlight 2. Or like, I haven't even been playing Guild Wars again lately, so I'm still trying to catch up. And it looks like I'm kind of in a no more. Jesus, please, no more. Just settle down for a second. I gotta get caught up on all this other crap. So, yeah, like, I haven't even played XCOM yet, so I wouldn't say there's anything in particular that I'm looking forward to right now, other than the stuff that already came out that I haven't had a chance to play yet. Yeah. I
gotta say, for me, I know I'm looking forward to, I don't know if I'm gonna get Halo right when it comes out. I'm a very big Halo fan, and I have been for a long time. I feel like I want to try and give 343 Industries a chance to see what they're gonna do with the series before I just write it off completely. Reach was kind of all right, but again, that was the last one that we saw from Bungie. The other one that I'm kind of looking forward to, it's a little after the holiday season. Again, just because I've been a fan of the series for a long time, there's a lot of controversy revolving around Dante in Devil May Cry, his new appearance that they gave him in DMC. I'm a fan of the combat, and I'm a fan of the way that the game plays, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how DMC unfolds, and I will be picking that up. So those are my two.
Damn, y'all play some weird games.
Did they find a way to make him even more emo?
You know, in all honesty, they took away the fact that he looks like he's on meth, and they did dumb. I want to say they dumbed down the emo a little bit. They got a lot of backlash because of how skinny, and also I think there were a lot of people. There's a side-by-side picture that shows him looking just like the game's developer. I think the project lead, and there was a lot of backlash for that. I've seen a lot of trailers more recently. He seems to be a little bit more human in terms of actually having some, you know, fat in his cheeks, and just kind of looks a little bit more like a natural, just kind of rowdy, angsty, rambunctious teen instead of a very goth, emo, stylistic nature that we saw with the first DMC trailer.
Are they gonna give him like thick-rimmed glasses and like a scarf or something?
I picked the best day to not wear my glasses that are completely emo. I don't think that's the plan.
Devil may think really hard about whimpering a bit. Crying is too mainstream.
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
So wait, real quick. Hold on. So basically, everyone cried because somebody was too skinny.
Yes.
Damn, Dante, eat a
What kind of scumbag ass gamers is this? I don't understand. We're like, oh, that dude is too skinny, and it was like, oh, that lady too fat. Make her skinnier. I got double standards. Oh, look at me. Damn, y'all piss me off sometimes.
The controversy really revolved around the idea that Dante was a very iconic character that a lot of people associated with being this strong, devil-stomping badass. And then they turned and took him away and kind of made him look really meek. And they wanted to take it in a new artistic direction. And there was such backlash from the community about that's not who Dante is. Why does he have black hair? Dante has white hair. He doesn't have his red cloak. And they started really attacking the aesthetic look of it no longer being Dante. Thus, it's no longer Devil May Cry.
Damn, they could just let a brother just kind of have his own, maybe his own feelings or something. Maybe he wasn't really feeling all that stuff. Want to go ahead and reinvent himself a little bit, try something a little bit different. All of a sudden, you gotta go, no, go eat a cheeseburger. Yeah.
Gotta make sure that people aren't dying.
I'm not interested until they give him one of those like little Hitler stashes. That's
oh gosh.
That's really where it's supposed to. Hipster may cry.
Oh, all right. Let's try and throw it out to one of these Skype questions and see if the problems have cleared up. So you're on the phone, or you're on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, and throw us out your question.
Oh, hi, cool. So my name's Adrian. I'm from Montreal. And my question's about the Ouya. So Ouya is coming out in like half a year, and it's got a lot of backing from Kickstarter, and it has a whole bunch of extra features like on Live and Twitch. So I was just wondering your opinions on how the Ouya will do once it's released in terms of three things. So the first one is free-to-play try model they have, which is a link for MMOs. The second one is in terms of game developers, like indie, commercial, whatever. Like, how do you think they'll respond to it? And the gamers, but I don't want to raise the gamer issue up again, so I'll just say, like, people who play games. And will they be attracted to Ouya and the games that will be available on it?
So it was reception of free-to-play, free-to-try. Free-to-play, free-to-try, and then developers, and then gamers.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I like the free-to-play, free-to-try. I think that's how a lot of it again, you got to think about the fact that the Ouya is almost coming from a mobile platform, because it's adapting from the Android-based platform. And I think that mobile games do a really good job of enticing you to download their game, try it, and then putting a brick wall somewhere in the game, whether it be a cash shop or a physical wall that says, hey, download the real game, and go out and try it. I can tell you there have been countless games that are anywhere from $2 to $10 that I've even purchased based on just trying the trial. So I think that if they embrace that, they're gonna find a better, a fairly good market base. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's the answer to the second question that he threw out. That's really going to affect everything else, because are gamers going to be interested in a $99 console? Yes, absolutely. It just depends on if the games are there. Is there something for me to actually do with it? I know myself, like I'm pretty big into Android myself. I've got an S3, I've got a Galaxy Tab, and I play games on it all the time, and I can definitely see a lot of potential on those platforms, just in terms of what they're capable of, to then say, okay, put a controller in my hand and let me actually play like a real video game with this sort of thing. I can definitely see some potential there. And in terms of, I forgot what the free-to-play, free-to-buy model, or free-to-try model, excuse me. That's something that a lot of things have been doing already on the mobile market. It kind of seems to already be the standard there in Android games is, well, you know, we'll let you play the first level and then you got to buy it. Or we will let you play it for free, but there's in-game microtransactions or something like that. So it seems like those are already, like, those I'm good to go on. It's just a question of, are developers actually going to hook onto this thing? And that's a really tough one to really try and guess. I know there's a few developers already. Madfinger is the group that made Shadowgun, which is actually a pretty decent shooter for the... they also made Dead Trigger more recently. Pretty decent shooters for Android platforms. There's a few developers that are already on board that I imagine we will probably... Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my $99 worth out of this thing, but the longevity of it is something that I would call into question. So that's something we're just going to have to wait and see how it actually ends up working out in practice.
So what do you think? Well, obviously, he even said himself, without jumping into the whole, are you an elitist gamer or a gamer? How do you think the gamers are going to receive this platform? I think it could actually do well because, and almost bridge that gap, because I think that I don't want to say a console is what makes a person turn into a gamer, the platform itself, but I think that there's definite grounds for people to become very well soaked in the Ouya gaming culture.
Yeah, if I could take this thing and plug it into that thing and play games on it with this thing, then I would be good to go. Like that's basically all it's coming down to. And this thing cost me like $600. We're talking about a $99 console here. That I think is the part that's really going to resonate with a lot of gamers, is when you can say, like, if you're a broke college student or something, you don't want, like, even if you're not, like, if you can get something that is going to give you an enjoyable gaming experience for $99, you're going to be all over that. That's something that I think a lot of people would be happy to jump on. It's just a question of if the games are going to be there. And if they are, then I can see it being super successful. If not, then it's going to sort of fall on its face.
All right, let's throw it out to another caller who is waiting on the line. Caller, you're on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. This is Jack Wesker. We're from Minnesota up here. And I have a question for all of you. With games like Smite coming out, so we're seeing a third-person MOBA genre entering the field. Do you think we're going to see MMOs adopting a philosophy like this and entering in new battlegrounds to give sort of a new face to PvP going forward?
Please. I talked for about a... Go ahead.
Just to be clear, you're asking if we're going to start seeing like battlegrounds along the lines of a MOBA-style setup.
Sort of like, yeah, except instead of having like a hero you pick, you would play your actual character from whatever MMO.
Right, okay.
Now, Mike and I talked a little bit about this when we were early on MOPS launch, and we talked for a very long time about how World of Warcraft could maybe translate over to a Dota-style game, because that was one of their projected battlegrounds for Mist of Pandaria, was a Dota battleground. And it's an interesting idea, but it comes with a lot of complications, because while you have set attachment to your character, you want to be able to play your character, but the MOBA games work in their balances by their simplicity of the amount of abilities that you have, as well as your quick creep waves, and kind of all of that system is all based off the idea of only using 4 abilities in a passive, so 5 abilities total. And it kind of begins to scale a little out of hand when you throw in all of these extra left and right abilities and these huge lists. Something like Guild Wars, on the other hand, kind of almost begins to structure itself to a deck of 5 abilities that you could work with and make work. And it would be interesting to see how they could maybe work with towers and create that all. I would love to see that. But I think it's a little ways out, and that's why Blizzard decided to either scrap it or push it back from the Mist of Pandaria release.
I think that the reason why Blizzard ain't gonna do it is because we have like 5 million abilities to go ahead and manage. There's so many buttons to push for doing different things, all these crazy skills we pick up to do and all that stuff. I think they just said, F it, we ain't gonna put all this stuff on here. And then if they go in and start up one of those Dota battlegrounds, you get inside, then they're gonna dumb everyone back down. They gotta have some kind of normalization like they do in challenge modes. And then they're gonna people get out there and do the PvP. I think it'll be fun. I'm trying to say, I think it'll be pretty fun and everything. But I think the problem is that we just have too many damn things to push. There's too many buttons on the ball down here. It's too many. Just can't. No, it's too much. Like in like Guild Wars 2, maybe I would say, yeah, Guild Wars 2 could do it. You know, they got like 3 buttons to push. And that's pretty much it. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and that's pretty much all. Oh, look at you! I play Guild Wars 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, see.
And I think the other side to it is you talked about normalization. There's the idea of how you a match where you have to level up, and you have your grinding phase and your farming phase and your mid game and your late game. All of that doesn't work well into the idea of throwing 580s on, or I guess 90s on a battleground and saying go at it. There's just more complexity than just putting 5 players on a map that's built with towers. Josh, what do you think about this?
I could easily see an MMO saying, all right, we're going to have a battleground here that's a 5v5 setup, and there's 3 lanes and there's creeps in it, and sort of leaving it at that. It's just getting, when you try to implement the leveling system and the earning gold system, like actually buying items in-game system that MOBAs are kind of built off of, that's when you really start to run into problems. Like, so much of the metagame of what makes a game like Dota or League of Legends or Smite or what have you into the games that they are, it comes down to, okay, how can I best earn gold? How can I best earn XP? How can I level up the quickest? How can I gear myself up the quickest inside this individual match? And that's the sort of mechanic that would be really, really difficult to implement in an MMO like World of Warcraft or SWTOR or whatever else, without it feeling like super gimmicky. Like, oh, well, you got kill points, and you got more kill points as you killed people, and then you can spend those on power points.
You know, anything's going to sound dumb when you say it like that. I'm just.
Well, do you think that's essentially what it'd have to come down to? Is you'd have to find a way to make it this sort of thing that isn't, because items are already in the game. Gold is already in the game. You'd have to make it some analog that's something else, and I don't think there's a really good way to implement that in a way that doesn't end up feeling like, oh, this is just gold, but they had to say it differently, so now it seems all weird.
I don't know how to make the gold system work at all, just because of that issue. But what about the idea of, I mean, we kind of see something like that with Alterac Valley, and even a little bit with Guild Wars, with collecting resources and delivering them. Do you think that at all could be adjusted or worked into a manageable buff or item purchase system for just that battleground?
I think there's ways to try and hook something similar in there, but I don't think they'd be able to quite get the same sort of sense of, this is my farming phase, this is my early game, my late game, and so on. I don't think there would be a really good way to try and implement something that ended up feeling like, oh crap, I'm playing World of Warcraft, but it's on Summoner's Rift sort of feeling. I don't think there would be a good way to actually implement it along those lines. It'd end up feeling like it's something very, very different. Even more so than a game like Smite, which does kind of feel like a MMO-ish MOBA because of the third-person perspective and the action bar sort of thing they got going. I really feel like I would love to see a battleground that's set up like that, but it would be tough to actually pull off. Plus the fact that it'd end up having to be a 5v5 sort of setup, or maybe not. Maybe it'd end up being a 10v10 setup, but then what are you doing with that whole, you have 10 players on each side now, and do you have extra lanes? What goes, there's a lot of like little challenges that end up being tough to solve when you're trying to design something like that.
So I think it really, just to bring it up, is we all would like to see it. It'd be really interesting, but it's just very, very complex, and I have something totally caught in my throat right now. But we'd love to see it. It's just it's gonna take a little bit of time. So this next question is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. You guys can access a free 30-day trial of Netflix where you can watch movies like the Indie Game, the movie, which is an amazing documentary. You guys can stream it right now at home to your consoles. So for a free 30-day trial, head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. All right. Caller, you're on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. And throw us out your question.
Hello, guys. My name is John from Kentucky. And I'd just like to say I'm a huge fan of your show. And I love Netflix, by the way. Breaking Bad, that's a great show.
Oh.
But
Gary's not on here to get all excited. No, you're supposed to call last week.
I know, right? Well, I just wanted to say I've played video games ever since I can remember. And with console games, you know, I could always play for like an hour or two and really not feel the need to run back to the console, basically kicking and screaming with mom pulling me back all the way. But ever since World of Warcraft came out for the PC, I find myself playing hours on end, sometimes from morning through to the next morning. And it kind of messes up my life from time to time. And so my question to you guys is, are you more likely to be addicted to the console platform or the PC platform?
Ooh, damn. Ooh, that's a question for that ass. Damn.
I think the addiction comes to the PC platform based on World of Warcraft's ever-evolving, or MMO's ever-evolving nature of trying to keep you in the game and feeling like you need to be there to be the best. You know, Josh, I think you mentioned right around the time, like a week or two after World of Warcraft's launch, where you felt really angry by the amount of dailies that you had to do based on the fact that you felt like you were letting your team down if you didn't put forth that time. There's that draw there because there's the connection of moving forward to assist and help other people. And the fact that this is something that you're going to be doing, and then when you finally get all the gear that you need, we get another patch or we get another expansion and you start it all over again. It never stops. There's always something to move forward to and move into, and that's where the addictive nature comes to it. Whereas on the reverse side, perfect example, I'm going back and playing Zelda Twilight Princess right now and spending one night on a dungeon and beating the dungeon and maybe picking it up the next night, maybe not. I'm playing it by myself because I'm playing it for myself. And that's, I think, what one of the big pieces to where the addiction lies is in the multiplicity of it. That doesn't make sense, but based on the fact that you're only playing for you.
Yeah, Multiplicity, Michael Keaton. Terrible movie. Don't ever go see it. Worst ever. Anyways, hey, Kentucky, you still on the phone? Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm still here. Love
Right,
Darnell, by the way.
Yeah. What's up? Okay, hey, I always want to make sure that, you know, we on the same page here. Are we talking about addiction, like bad addiction? Or are we talking about, like, if the game itself is addicting, like it can keep people playing and having fun for hours on end? There's a big difference between the two. I just want to make sure we're clear here.
Well, see, it's fun, but in the same token, I wish my friend would have never introduced me to WoW. But I love you, Darnell. But the only reason is because it's kind of running into the lines of ruining your life in the sense, if you get what I mean. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I want to come back to the computer and play, but at the same time, it's kind of ruining my life in a sense.
Then it kind of sounds, and feel free to stay on the line for a little bit. It sounds like you have recognized that you're starting to, either you or someone else or just in general, people can cross that line and it begins to run their life. They begin to sorry, I can't go do this. I've got raise to do, or you know, I don't know, relationship problems. It does cause problems for anyone out there. But I think the biggest thing is knowing when you need to take a stand and what it is, and being able to say what the better decision for you in the life situations that you're in right now. Josh, you just stepped down a 10-man rating because you didn't feel you had the time to commit to 25. That's a perfect example.
Hold on, so I want to make sure we just point this out real quick. Mark S is dropping them life decision kind of advice. He's like 12 years old. He's putting all this stuff out there. Damn, he probably half the age of Kentucky. Seriously, damn. Oh, I just want to point that out.
Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, it's Saturday. Do I wear the Spider-Man pajamas or do I wear the Batman pajamas? That's the kind of tough life decisions you got to face when you're
Sometimes that can keep me up for hours and I can't make raids, so I had to step away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think there's something to be said about addiction in the sense of, and this is kind of what I think Darnell was alluding to a second ago, there's something to be said that anything that's fun can be addicting because you want to keep doing it. But there definitely is an element in MMORPGs of that sense of, I got to get that next little bit, right? Like I got to get that next piece of gear. I got to get that next daily done or whatever. Like I don't know that anybody's ever been really excited about getting that next daily done, but whatever, you know, it's like I got to get that next something in something like an MMORPG, and that's something that a lot of games have actually tried to replicate on the console market. Call of Duty is a prime example. One of the first things they did that actually, like when Modern Warfare, which Call of Duty 4 came out, one of the things that they did that was not really like super revolutionary. We'd seen it in a couple of the games before then, but they really started to pound home the idea of a persistent leveling system in a first-person shooter where, oh, you mean as I continue playing, then I can unlock more stuff and I can do more stuff? I lost way too much freaking time to that game. That was the first console game I played that I would actually like just continue playing for forever. I think it's mostly, it's not so much a platform thing as it is consoles don't really have MMORPGs. They're typically seen as too complicated for this thing. They're too complicated for that whole thing. So I'm just gonna leave this over here because apparently I keep pulling it out today. That's
what she said.
We're back to the original topic again now, the one that we started everything. But yeah, I think it's mostly just a function of trying to get that just a little bit more sort of mentality into a game on the console. It's just something that has only happened in a couple of really isolated situations so far. It's not so much a function of, for whatever reason, the controller just isn't as addicting as a mouse and keyboard or something like that. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just the actual games that are available on the different platforms is what's driving that.
Do you think RPGs...
Hey, is Kentucky still on the phone? We let him go? Oh, he's gone now, okay.
We let him go.
I'm just going to assume that Kentucky has Netflix, because I think he said he had Netflix, right? Okay, so here's what you got to do. You probably have a console because you call and asking console versus PC questions, stuff like that. And you know whenever you're playing video games for like a really long-ass time, like you're upstairs playing on the computer and doing all this stuff, and you know you got other stuff you got to do, and then you get to that point, right, where you're playing for a really long time, and then you kind of stop for a moment and you're like, damn, I should really stop playing, right? And then right there, you make that decision. You're like, nah, I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I'm going to keep going playing this game. And then like 3 hours later, you're like, damn, I should probably stop playing this game. The first time that happens, you need to go ahead and just stop playing and go pull up some Netflix and go watch you some Breaking Bad or Alien BS or whatever the hell they watch. Just go watch and do this. Do this for yourself. Just go downstairs and just watch maybe like one show. That's it. Just one show. And then when you're done, then come up here and play some more video games. See, then you can be like, damn, I'm proud of my own ass. I went up and came downstairs and I did stuff and I watched Breaking Bad or whatever those dumb shows you like to watch. Quantum Leap, maybe, I don't know. But then you go upstairs and you feel better about yourself. Just catch yourself that first time and do it, you know, more times again, over and over again.
And I think, honestly, even if you catch yourself that first time, like Darnell said, that you might even be surprised by the fact that you've stood up, gone down, and done something else. Your mind might drift away from it. And then you don't feel compelled to sit down and play for another 3 straight hours. You may go back and jump right back on, but you'd be surprised by breaking that routine. You might be able to do whatever it is that you feel like you're neglecting. Because I don't know if you specifically said or just in general, there are people out there who can let the addiction of video games ruin their lives. So I think it's just a matter of taking smart breaks.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Bakula. All right. Let's throw it out to another caller and see what he's got to say. Caller on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from.
My name is Ryan. I am from Lake Tahoe. My name is also Maelstrom in World of Warcraft. And you guys might remember me as Skull Guy from BlizzCon. I had everyone sign my skull.
Oh, yeah.
I don't Skull because Guy. You didn't ask me. So muted.
I'm kind of surprised Josh remembers me because he was really drunk.
I usually don't forget things when I've been drinking. I just remember everything so that I can regret every moment of it later. That's what it comes down to. And then I go, oh God, did I actually say that to Felicia today? I'm retarded.
Now, real quick.
Hey, Skull Guy, I remember you. I wasn't there, but you know, I heard stories. I know what you're talking about. I got you.
It's on my skull, Darnell. It's one of my favorite on there.
Yeah, see that little suck it. Yeah.
Damn.
But before I get to my question, I did want to say that it's shame Gary Gannon not here because I have seen a fire tornado.
That was what I was gonna say. That was some information. Yeah, you're from Lake Tahoe, and I think we've had like 4 or 5 people from Australia on, which is where the video that originated. You've had a fire tornado?
Not in Tahoe. I went up to Burning Man, and when they burned the man, it shot fire tornadoes out, multiple tornadoes of fire out towards the crowd.
Yeah.
Are you sure
I'm gonna go
that
and say that you was
was
high as shit. I'm just gonna say you was high. You was so high. You were just like the Burning Man. It's throwing things out and look at it. Oh damn, I'm losing my mind. Look at it.
It was incredible. It was definitely a spectacle I've never seen anything like that before.
All right. Yeah, I can't imagine. I don't even want to think about what it'd be like to experience a fire tornado. All right. So I hear you got a
Was that his
question.
question? Was that it?
Yeah, that was.
Damn,
He's
good question.
seen a
I
fire
like this one.
tornado.
Really good.
My question is regarding the Blizzard product slate. I noticed that the other day
You're about
that
to kill a kitten
Titans,
because I will bring this up on the screen. You're about to kill a kitten. I hope you know this.
I was wondering if you guys thought that Titan was going to interfere with WoW's player base, since the expansion and Titan are coming out at the same time.
I think we got something similar to this last week, Josh.
I don't remember. I think we did end up pulling up the product slate sometime last week. I think that
someone thought that Blizzard that Titan was going to be the next WoW expansion.
Oh yeah, no, not that. Oh Jesus, it's punching me in the face now. No, I don't think the date for Titan, like all the dates on that thing were somewhat loose regardless, but the one for Titan was completely and totally bonkers. So I'm honestly not that, like, I wouldn't be too concerned about, oh, it's slated to come out at the exact same time as the expansion after Mists of Pandaria. Ode the nose. I kind of just think that the date just doesn't mean much for it there.
So you don't even think Titan's going to come out 2013, or it's just something that they've speculated on. 2013 is a tentative date of when they hope to have it out.
2013 at all. No, there's zero chance of a 2013 release date for Titan. Negative amounts of a chance. We haven't heard anything about it yet. It's the end of 2012 already.
Hey man,
there's no way they're going to be like, oh, by the way, we've got this completed game. Here you go, guys. Like that's not going to happen.
I'm still hearing good things about WoW movie at the end of 2012. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think that one's gonna happen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I think that at a certain point they just kind of say, okay, so these investors and everybody, they want to see this chart, assuming of course that it's real. Okay, kittens, etc., right? Okay, so they're gonna make everything that's gonna happen here very soon, like, kind of make sense. You know what I'm saying? But then after that, like years and years down the road or whatever, several months, etc., they can just kind of make stuff up and just throw it on there. Just go and sprinkle some things on there with some words about things we might do in the future sometime, etc., etc. And then when that time comes, if we don't make that deadline, we're going to say, oh, you really expect us to keep a deadline from like 20 years ago? Give us a break. You know, recession, etc., Obamacare, all that stuff is messing up our lives, okay?
Damn.
I'm just playing about Obamacare, okay? I'm just playing about that, but just use that as an example, you know. Romnesia. Forget I even said anything.
All right, let's go to another Twitter question while we wait to get someone on the lines here. Patty Anthony wants to know, whose parents within GameBreaker TV's group were also gamers? Bell, Grounds, Bro Grounds, Bone Chewer. Did you guys have any parents that were gamers? I know my mom is the one who advocately got me started on The Legend of Zelda. And I have her to thank for my video game addiction. And the reason I buy a Nintendo every single time a new Zelda comes out. Thanks,
wait, which
Mom.
one?
Which mom?
No, not which mom, damn.
Which Zelda? Every single one. I've literally bought I've bought a Wii twice because of The Legend of Zelda.
You should quit selling those.
Yeah.
You know they're just gonna keep coming out with games for those, right? Like they're not like, it's not like those old like Tiger handhelds that there's just one game on it. You could actually put different games in those.
I don't want to play anything else on the Wii. We had this discussion about the Wii. It's not for me, but I will buy Zelda. And I bought it. I went 2 years without any Zelda. I sold it, and then they announced Skyward Sword, and I wanted to punch babies.
Oh my God! Listen to what he's saying for a minute. Hold on a minute. My guess is just like, oh yeah, the very first Zelda. What was that? Oh, that's right. The one, Link to the Past. Yeah, that was the first one.
No. I go all the way back to the original one. Thank you. The one on Nintendo. The one where it had like grid dungeons. I know my roots with Zelda. All right. I even played The Adventures of Link.
Came out?
No.
Hey, Mark,
but I was alive when The Adventures of Link came out.
Yeah, I think I'm about as old as your mom. What you doing right now?
What about you guys? Are either of you guys' parents gamers at all?
My dad played Falcon 3.0. It was on like 6 5.5-inch floppies. It was a grand total of maybe 20 megabytes for the whole game. Yeah, no, not so much. Not so much. They were a bit. They were of the generation before games were really a thing. So.
And I think that's something we'll see more as we go, as we kind of move forward. I think as the gaming generation who knew, as old as Atari and Nintendo and Super Nintendo and kind of go through that, we're going to see a lot more parents transition and actually have been gamers since it's a technology that's been around for longer. I mean,
yeah, I think this is a really good question for someone that's like 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? When your mom is like 28 and stuff and still looking good and everything. But I think for everyone else, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, my mom was playing on me in television. She was playing Burger Time and Tron Deadly Disc and Pitfall. Y'all probably don't remember that. Yeah, my mom's old. Suck my balls.
Darnell, I know you're mad, but after this, I'll hook you up with my mom's number. You can give her a call. All right?
Yeah. I'm only assuming you're good looking because you ain't an ugly dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing your mom probably alright too. Just saying.
I have the face of my dad, but the legs of my mom.
Hey, that's alright too. I seen that yellow dress.
That explains the dress. Yeah, that really explains a lot.
All right, let's move it on to a Skype question right here on GameBreaker. If you guys want to call, if you guys at all are out there and want to give us a call, hit us up on Skype with GB After Dark. So caller, you're on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, and shoot us your question.
Hi, I'm Chaos Infinity. I'm up in Washington State. I hope I'm coming in clear.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
no,
Crystal.
Darnell. No, Darnell, I will not suck your balls. Wow. My question is...
I wasn't even asking him. He just came up and just said it. Damn, I wasn't going to ask you. I only ask you anyways.
Yeah, good. The question is, I know you guys have probably played a little bit of Star Trek Online. I know you guys have played The Old Republic. Given their, similar and very much similar with their free-to-play models, why do you think The Old Republic's being ultra-restrictive in comparison to, say, Star Trek Online's free-to-play models?
We got in a huge debate over this over on this week's Tweemo. My personal opinion goes as, I don't want to say as far as, but I feel like a big part of as to why that is the way that it is because The Old Republic was designed to be a subscription pay model game that they expected to go pay to play, subscription a lot longer than a year, if not only half a year. So they're definitely concerned and worried about the way that they're approaching it and not embracing the other ideas that are out there because they don't feel that is their game's style.
Oh, wait, STO was also
yeah. So STO, when STO came out, I remember being really disappointed that it was a pay-to-play model, but it was also a pay-to-play model when it came out. So
that's right.
I mean, there may have been more of an element of just like preparedness for going free-to-play in STO, because it was a bit of a more underdog game than Star Wars: The Old Republic, which was like this. Whoa, oh my God, you guys! Star Wars: The Old Republic! I was like freaking everywhere. I hate to sound like the broken record here, but I'm gonna blame EA for this one too. They want to make all the money they possibly can. They don't like the idea whatsoever of someone playing their game for free. They absolutely hate the idea of someone who is not giving them money. That's how they operate. That's where I'm gonna stick on that one. Yep.
Yeah, no, I think, but there's two sides of it too, right? Like, Cryptic makes Champions Online and STO, right? So I think they were kind of at the point where they were like, well, Champions Online is just kind of doing all right, that's pretty much all right, just all right. So damn, okay, STO maybe ain't doing as good as we need to, so we need to make it free to play. Well, if we make some really dumbass, stupid free to play design, then no one's gonna play our game, and that's pretty much the end of it. So we got to make something that makes sense. And that's all. And that's what they did. They were like, okay, we need to make this thing free to play in a way that makes sense and it's not going to piss everyone off. And then just like Lo said, EA is just like, yeah, F those guys.
Yeah, they just seem to kind of have this sense of if they're not paying us, then it doesn't matter that they're they don't see the value in having people playing their game when even if they're not paying them for it. The companies like Riot have been able to turn that into a way to make sure that people want to spend money on their game, because you go, okay, yeah, there's always people playing this game. All of my friends are playing this. So I get a little bit pulled. There's something attacking my dog over there or something. I don't know what that is. He'll be fine. But I have no idea what's going on over there.
Maybe he won't be fine. Did you feed him every 3 hours, 2 hours?
I haven't fed him in like a month and a half, so maybe that's what that is.
Yeah, freaking out.
Maybe he masturbating on camera. I'm just saying.
maybe that's what he's doing. Yeah. I really don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, there. In my mind, there is a lot of value to having someone play your game, even if it's for free, in that it's providing an extra experience for the other people who are paying for your game, and it's getting more people into the game. And that, I think, is the part that EA has a little bit of trouble with for whatever reason. They just do not see the value in having someone playing their game for free.
All right, let's sort out to another question and see what you guys got to say out there on the line. So you are on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it over to a Twitter question and wait for the person to actually get on the line here. Enigma wants to know, just wanted to know what you think the average age demographic of the average gamer, me being a young 42-year-old. I think this kind of falls in line a little bit with what we brought up with parents being gamers. I think as the decision-making generation becomes my generation, the stigma of gamers being young 12-year-olds will slowly start to fall away. Looking at you, Darnell.
I guess I think that dude could be your dad. I'm just saying. This is just his way of reaching out to you right now. I'm not saying.
He's trying. This is the only way that my dad can actually talk to me, is to reach out to me on Twitter.
He sends in GameBreaker After Dark questions. He's like, so what do you think the average age of a gamer is nowadays? Also, when are you going to come home, Mike? We miss you.
Yeah, see, kind of, I mean, yeah, no, for real, that makes sense. Kind of like what you said earlier about having two moms, or your mom left your dad for another woman. I understand. It's all right. You could talk to me if you want. After the show, we'll hook up. We'll talk, all right? Don't worry about it.
All right, sounds good. That's when I'll give you my mom's number as well. Let's check in and see if we got another caller on here. Caller, in line with GameBreaker After Dark. You out there?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, tell us your name and tell us where you're from.
Answer that question, damn.
So my name is Jeremy, aka Squishy from Ontario, Canada. And so my question is, what do you think of console-exclusive games such as Halo and Trials for the Xbox? And do you think these types of games should be ported to all platforms such as PC, Xbox, PS3, etc.? Or do you think it's good to have some variety? Also, Darnell, have you ever considered some late-night stand-up comedy?
The fanboy answer to that.
Not at all, no.
Thank
you for asking, Squishy.
Darnell, we can hook you up over at Flappers over in Burbank, and you can do a late night act for like $10. $10 a pop. $10 a ticket. No?
I don't even know what the hell. What was he talking about? Flappers with 1920s, or was this kind of like sick adult joke or something? I have no idea what he's talking about.
It's a comedy club here in Burbank. Anyway, the first. What was the first part of that question? I already forgot.
So the question was pretty much like exclusivity to consoles and versus PC and all that stuff. And Halo as an example, and Trials, even though Trials was coming out in 2013 or whatever, But Halo is probably a pretty good example and stuff like that. I think personally, I think that the Xbox and the PC line is going to kind of merge a little bit here coming up pretty soon, because we got Windows 8 coming out and they got the new dashboard out for the Xbox that puts like a whole bunch of new ads all over the place to make you feel like you got ads. It's all up in your face all the time, even though you're paying for all of that stuff for your stupid Xbox Live, and they still put the ads in your face. Damn, it makes me mad. I was a mad person today. Anyways, so yeah, I think what's going to happen is they're going to have all these titles going to kind of, you know, blur the lines a little bit between your Xbox and all that stuff. And then PlayStation is just going to be downloading still. It's going to that's pretty much all PlayStation does is play my Blu-rays and all that stuff, and just downloads and errors out. Got to do it again. Damn, I hate my PlayStation.
No more blowing on the cartridge? Is that out of the question now?
Does blowing on a CD actually do anything?
Flushing it down the toilet actually does. I've learned that multiple times. That's true.
This is why you keep having to buy new Wiis. Stop flushing your consoles down the toilet.
Not console, the disc. If the disc is scratched, you flush it in the toilet. I'm not gonna justify it. It worked.
Ow. Ow.
Exclusivity, the elitist gamer will always want their game to be exclusive to their consoles. I think that's their way of feeling like they were first to the party. But I feel exclusives originated based on early platforms. You know, we associate Mario, Zelda with Nintendo, and Metroid with Nintendo, Halo with Xbox. Perfect example, a lot of people will fight to the death that Final Fantasy is a PlayStation exclusive when it first appeared on the Nintendo. That's it as we grow more, the developers are obviously going to want the spread of their game to reach diverse people, and they don't want to limit them based on hardware alone. And I think it's great for the developer. And honestly, besides maybe graphics and the difference that your X is an A between Xbox and PlayStation, I don't see much of a difference between the two. And I think it's smart for them to branch out. That means I don't have to buy a brand new Wii every time a new Zelda comes out. I can just keep to my PlayStation and Xbox and not drop all that money again and again and again.
Well, okay,
right,
okay, I'll go and I'll field this one. All right, so I think the reason why exclusivity, damn, that word, I hate that word. Okay, I think the reason why that's important is because people, like developers and everything, they gotta write the programs and the software so they can work specifically for that particular console. They can take advantage of all the cool things that that one console could do, and that's it, right? So they're gonna write up something exclusive for Xbox, and then they could take advantage of all the fancy stuff and link into all the achievements and all this other stuff and really focus on making it a really good game for just the Xbox, and that's it. So I think it's all right for them to have, you know, exclusive titles for one single game, and that's it. Kind of makes the games better, in my opinion. That's all.
All right, let's throw it out to another question and see what you guys got to say on the line. You're on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from.
What's up, guys? I'm Nick from San Diego.
Nick from San Diego. You may be still out there? Nick?
Yeah.
Nick. There you go. All right.
Hey, so my question to you guys is, do you guys ever think success for an MMO can be a bad thing for a game? Like, for example, take WoW and Rift. If you compare the games side by side, as a player, it seems like Rift kind of cares more and tries harder for every player they have, because they don't have that 10 million players, and it's easier for us to walk away than it is from Blue. Or it's more of a dent in their wallet walking away from Rift than it is from, say, WoW.
Can you repeat that just real quick one more time? You were cutting in and out.
Do you guys ever think success for a game can be bad because they get disconnected from the place and don't try as hard?
So saying our game is really successful, and they're starting to lose sight of what it was that made them successful to begin with. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. You guys are breaking up a little bit too. I think, yeah, that sounds like what I'm asking.
Okay. I think it's definitely a challenge for developers once their game starts to get successful, especially when you look at a title like World of Warcraft that started to branch out and take in all sorts of different types of, like, it used to be that World of Warcraft was a game that had a little smattering of PvP to it. It had a little bit of, I guess there was kind of some small group content and kind of some stuff that you could do as a casual player, but really it was all about raiding. That was what Classic was. It was like, oh yeah, the 40-man raids. That was the end game in Classic. And then they added in the Battlegrounds, and they started branching out in a whole bunch of different directions, to where nowadays raiding is just one thing that you can do on top of this whole bunch of it. You can take, you can do rated BGs, you can do arenas, you can do just friggin' daily quests all day if you want to. In fact, you kind of have to just do friggin' daily quests all day, so I guess now daily quests are the end game of World. I don't know. I'm just being snarky, but I do think there is a challenge to that. I don't necessarily think that it's something that automatically turns into, oh yeah, this is a bad thing, because I do feel still that the raid content in World of Warcraft is still quality. It's still an enjoyable experience. But it definitely can be tough for developers to try and deal with. I still don't know that you'd really call it a bad thing, though. Just because if part of them being successful means that they branch out to become more successful, then they're being successful, right? They're appealing to a wider audience. They're getting more and more and more people in to play their game. They're making more money. Their game is doing well. It's hard for me to really say. I mean, obviously, it does mean that core player base might get left behind. The group that they started with might get left behind, and that's always unfortunate and frustrating to see as a player. But from a developer standpoint, they're like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of all this money we're making.
Ka-ching!
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it over to a Twitter question and see what you guys got to say over on Twitter. If you guys have any interest on tweeting us for the show, be sure to include the hashtag GBAfterDark. So Joe is, again, I think we had a question from you at the beginning of the show. Wanted to know, with crossbows not available as a PvP reward from Conquest Point vendors, do you think Blizzard is planning on dual-wielding crossbows?
Nope.
No.
That's that's simple.
Nope. No, they already only have one class that can use crossbows. They're not going to add twice as many of them. Not gonna happen. Sorry.
All right, let's start over to one more Twitter question. Nif2 Cal, almost like Cal Nif2, wanted to know, I play Prot Warrior, and I was wondering if there is some sort of website I could go to learn boss mechanics with a forum. Hey, Josh, do you know of any website like this?
No such thing. Nope. Ain't no website out there. Nuh-uh. Nope.
No.
You want to learn about tanking at a certain spot somewhere, .com maybe? No, never heard of nothing like that. Nope.
Somebody really should make some sort of spot for tanks to learn.
Yeah.
Where they can go and just chat and talk and theory craft and come up with raid guides and maybe also put some scraggly curly-haired guy on where he can talk for an hour or so about questions and topics related to World of Warcraft.
That sounds retarded. No one.
I don't think that would take off. I don't think that would take off. All right, let's throw it out to one more final question.
Oh, tankspot.com. Okay, there you go, Lord. I got your back. Don't worry about it. Damn. All right, go ahead.
So let's throw it out to another question here. Caller on the line with GameBreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from.
Hi, it's from Breckenridge again. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hello.
How are you?
All right. As to the fire tornado, yes, I have seen one. Well, the fires out here in Colorado in this past year, they actually had one down there. It was actually on the news multiple times as well.
Fire. They're called fire devils, right? Maybe. No.
Okay. Well, actually, one of the terms was one person on the news called them a maelstrom, which obviously goes back to WoW, but that was what they called it.
All right,
a fire maelstrom.
So the maelstrom exists. It's just in Colorado. Got it. So if I need to get a deep home,
fire instead of water.
Yeah, exactly. A plane of fire. But anyway, One of the things that I've noticed with WoW, and I know Josh has probably done this more than once on PST, is the ability creep is just starting to really get on my nerves. There's so many abilities. Like Josh, I have a Belkin under my left hand, and I have 16 buttons under my left hand. I've got another 7 under my right, and I'm out of buttons. I'm actually having to mouse over for extra abilities that I cannot actually play with. So my question would be, if at some point do you think that Blizzard would actually come to an approach similar to Guild Wars in that lots of ability, big deck, small hand? Just those 6, 8, 9 abilities that you would use. You have a huge stable of abilities to pick from.
And you're talking WoW. But before we go into detail, you're talking WoW specifically.
WoW specific, because in WoW, I haven't come across this in any other game where I'm actually running out of. I need another hand to play the game.
Damn,
so many abilities. Didn't catch if that was an insult or not, Darnell, because it was all sounded like you were eating.
No, he's just saying you got a big deck. You got a big deck, so don't worry.
That's
about
why you
it.
need 2 hands, so you can,
Watch this on replay if you still can't hear us, because it's not an insult at all. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you think World of Warcraft? I mean, we're kind of seeing this. We're kind of seeing. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, it's something we're definitely starting to see a lot of in World of Warcraft. There's a scorpion on you, Darnell. That's terrifying.
No, then nope.
Nope. Okay. Sorry. Thought I saw something for a second, but must have been nothing. But it's definitely something we're seeing a lot of in World of Warcraft now. It's actually kind of interesting. There's a few classes that actually have fewer abilities now in Mists of Pandaria. Like my Paladin, for example. I've got less buttons. I gained bar space going into Mists of Pandaria because there's not as much stuff for me to do. But then I went over and started trying to set up my my Shaman, and I just kind of went, no, way too many buttons I need to have on my button. There's just so much crap that I need to have. Like, what if I'm out questing and suddenly I get attacked? Well, I need to have all 18 of my random utility totems on my bar. It's not quite 18, but still. I need to have all of these different. I need to have Earth Grab out. I need to have this thing. I need to have Grounding Totem. I need to have Tremor Totem. I need to have all this stuff available just in case I happen to need it. And since they killed the totem bar, it's kind of turned it into a mess. So yeah, there's definitely some major ability creep going on in World of Warcraft. It's something we've seen a lot. It was one of my major complaints about Star Wars: The Old Republic too, was that and that was a game that didn't even have any expansions yet. It was just, hey, right out of the gate, you've got way too many freaking abilities to put on everything. So it's definitely a struggle. Would they go to the big deck, small hand setup? I don't know that they actually would go quite that far in World of Warcraft. I think it's likely that at some point we'll see them sort of thin the ranks a little bit. But I don't know that they'll ever go down to the point where they're saying, okay, yeah, because it is kind of a major difference in terms of approach in saying, okay, you've got all of these abilities available, but you can only actually equip a few of them. So, yeah.
And I think the other thing we're seeing a good amount. We're seeing a lot of positive feedback, but I think we're also seeing a lot of negative feedback about World of Warcraft dumbing down the talent calculators, and a lot of backlash, and people are upset about that. But that was them trying to reduce the amount of abilities and kind of simplify what was going on there. And people weren't very receptive to it. I mean, if you take away abilities that people consider very key abilities to their class and make me have to choose as a feral druid between, you know, my Rip or my Savage Roar, and I don't have enough, like I only have one space and it's Rip or Savage Roar, I'm going to be a little bit upset because I'm not getting, you've basically cut my class up, and now I feel like I'm not getting to play it the way that I want to, or the way that you designed it. Maybe now a Feral Druid isn't even the type of character I like anymore because I can't create the right deck. And then I could get turned off completely and walk away from the game. So I think that's also a very big risk that they're running with their pre-established system, and making a big change like that.
I mean, I feel like they're doing everything they can, right? I mean, I don't think they can ever win this fight because, I mean, they already got rid of stuff like, for example, warriors, when you stance change and all that stuff, pretty much nothing happens to your boss. They got the same stuff and all the abilities and all everything. So maybe they just ain't never gonna win. No one's ever gonna be happy. There's nothing we can do. They'll be like, look, we got you this big old deck, and you're gonna put it in your hand, and you're gonna enjoy it. And that's all. You see, they just got to learn just to kind of, you know, stand up and just tell people how it is. Take this big old deck and just enjoy it.
You gotta have it in both hands.
Oh, yeah. This is totally the name of the show on such a great topic of getting caught fapping. All right, let's start out to our last question here on GameBreaker After Dark this week. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from.
Hey guys, it's Jason. I'm from Ontario, probably Fort Collier now. First off, nice to have you back, and it's been nice to carry on the show. He's been awesome.
Nice to have us back.
So here's a question for you guys.
Darnell.
Yeah,
He's talking to me. We shut your mouth. I'm talking to me.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. Nice to have Darnell back. Actually, it'd be nice to see a show with all four of you guys, or Darnell, carry on the show. I think that'd be awesome. But that's not my question. You guys have been given 100 mil to play with, and you guys are going to go ahead and develop a video game based on you guys from GameBreaker. So what would you guys go and make it up? Like, what type of genre? Would you put it for a console, PC, both? What would the objective be and storyline? If you could do that with on GameBreaker.
I think my answer is the GameBreaker, the game that we would develop if we were given $1 million, is already in implementation. All you got to do is go over to www.gamebreaker.tv, and you can play GameBreaker TV by visiting quests, or by doing quests, visiting different parts of the site, answering trivia, and you can get gold to win rewards. Does it get any? You can win achievements and badges. Right there. Does that work? That. You guys
no, that was good. No, it didn't sound like you rehearsed that at all. No, you're right.
Did you plant the caller just so you could get that plug in there?
Just as the final caller, I had to get that plug in. Because if you guys don't know, we got a brand new website that's about a month old at this point now. All right, anyway, we've been given $1 million to make an MMO. Riff with me. What are we putting in it? We going MMO? We going RPG? We going RTS? Where are we going? Where are we going? Come on. Just throw it out there. Just throw it out there. Come on. Give me something. Give me something. Nothing?
Man, it's such a big topic that I have to think about. Okay, probably go MMO. Considering it's GameBreaker, we would probably have to go MMO. But I would say MMO because I'm feeling courageous at the moment, feeling like a challenge. Let's say let's do it on a console. We'll do it with one of these things. And all the characters are Darnell. Boom, done.
Damn, that's the best game ever. Yeah, #1 seller. Watch out, WoW killer. Look out.
That's all it would take, right? Right there.
Yeah, just do Darnell MMO.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and for Darnell,
it'll let you pick your class, but it's just 7 different slots that say Darnell.
Yep, and all of them have a big deck.
All right, guys. For the Darnell MMO and all the updates about it, you can follow @DarnellSub. Be sure to catch Blizz Blues and all the other content that comes out right here on GameBreaker. A lot of Let's Plays. You just did a Dead Space, I believe, but you're going to be playing Amnesia, from what I hear.
You. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, yes, I am. So yeah, I'm going to be playing Amnesia. Yep.
And Josh Allen. What's that?
So are you excited? Are you looking forward to some Amnesia? Some Romnesia? Is that what you said earlier?
That's exactly what's going to happen. You know that's coming. Hell yeah. That's right.
And Josh Allen, Mr. Lore, you can follow him right there @Devilore. Be sure to catch him over on tankspot.com, where you can get all of your Prot Warrior boss mechanic-y forums going on. Josh, we're streaming. We're not done yet. We haven't cut.
Sorry.
Josh.
I thought we were done. I was going to sleep.
Everybody's... Now, Darnell? I'm the only one with my hands in the air. I'm the only one.
I don't even need to use my hands.
Ridiculous.
My deck isn't big enough.
You can follow me right here at Mike Schaffnit. Be sure to catch all of the stuff we do, and you can follow at GameBreaker TV. We do After Dark every Tuesday at 9 p.m. PDT. And if you guys got any questions, this show is based around you guys, so be sure to catch it live. Tweet us your questions at GB After Dark with that hashtag, or hit us up on Skype at GB After Dark. Guys, thank you so much for your calls. We'll talk to you next week.